Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I will try to do a daytime Valentine's look using sort of like a pinky slash flirty colors, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. So for Valentine's Day, I wanted sort of like a very healthy, somewhat glowy skin. So to prime, I'm going to use my e.l.f. primer. It's the Poreless one, just to get rid of my pores. Today's makeup look, we're actually going to start with the eyes because I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do with the eyes. So I am going to prime my eyes with the Mecca Max concealer. Have a nice base and then blend. To set the eyes, I am going to use this Meet Matte Nude palette and the shade Matte Lombardi, which is my favorite shade in this palette. It has a nice yellow tinge to it. And for transition shade, we're going to use the same palette, and I will actually use a mixture of matte Sing and matte Lombardi, just up above the crease. To deepen up the transition, I am going to use the shade right here called Matte Rosin. It's just like a nice brown shade, and I'm going to focus that underneath the crease all the way to the inner corner. So this is going to be more of like a cool tone look because I feel like for Valentine's Day you want to flaunt what you got, and then you know, cool tone shadows just complements my eye color better, and it makes it look sultry and sexy in a way. So I'm going just in and out and then out. And to deepen the look a little bit further, I am going to use the shade right here called Garcia. So it's still cool tone, but it has a little bit of like that warm brown maroony shade to it. So I'm going to focus that here on a blender brush. So I'm not going to go on the inner part, so I'll just focus here on the outer part and kind of just blend that in circular motion. So going a little bit up to try and lift the eyes. And then I'm going to go back to the shade right here called Matte Sing in a clean blending brush and just blend the edges away. I am going to take a smaller flat brush and go back to Matte Lombardi to kind of clean up the lid space, so I know where to lay the shimmer. For the shimmer part, I am going to use this Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, and I'm actually going to use this shade right here, which is a nice champagne pink, because I find that it's cute and girly enough. So I'm going to use a flat shader brush, actually a little bit smaller. So we're going to use the same flat brush that we used to carve our lids and just place it on the lid. So pretty. You could wet your brush to get more pigment, but I'm quite happy with how this is looking because I don't want anything like over the top. And then I will use my finger to just pop a little bit more on the lid. Just here, and then blend everything with a clean brush. I will quickly pop on some lashes. I know I'm actually never a fan of false lashes, but since it's Valentine's Day, I kind of like wanna amp this eyeshadow look up, so I'll be right back and we'll finish off with a face. It only took me about an hour to apply my lashes. So for face today, since we've already primed it, I am going to spritz my face a little bit just to give some hydration. So any setting spray will do, and then apply the foundation. So for that, I am going to use my NARS Sheer Glow foundation, and this one is in the shade Syracuse, because I want a somewhat full coverage look but not extremely matte. So I picked this foundation, and it lasts throughout the day, and it gives a nice finish to the skin despite it being sheer, because it's not necessarily like a very radiant foundation. And I'll just quickly blend that in with a beauty sponge. So it depends what you're going to do on a date night. But personally for me, on the actual Valentine's Day, I probably won't wear any makeup at all, since we're probably just gonna hang at home, watch Netflix, you know, barefaced. But if you are someone who's, you know, you celebrate Valentine's Day every year and is religious about it, then this would be like a fun night out look with you and your girlfriends, or with you and your man. That layer of coverage is enough for me. And to apply concealer, I'm going to use the Mecca concealer again, and I'm actually going to focus this on the darkest parts of my eye, which is usually around here and here, and kind of highlight as well, because our face is looking a little bit dramatic than what I was hoping for. We'll try to balance that out. To set my face, I'm going to use the Coty Airspun loose powder. I'm actually not going to bake. I'll just press it onto my skin with a beauty blender, because I don't want the look of extremely matte look. So I'll just focus this on the areas where I get extremely oily with a sponge. And for the rest of my face, I will just use a powder brush to lightly set it, because again, I don't want a extremely matte look. To brighten my eyes further, I am going to use this Shade and Light by Kat Von D, and I'm going to mix the banana shade and this shade right here, which is sort of like a peachy shade, for underneath my eyes. My forehead and down this point. And to contour, I'm going to use the middle shade, which is that one right there, just slightly. That added a little shade, but I'm going to use this Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here because it's a little bit warm, so I'll use that to slash bronze and contour at the same time, because I want this to be a little bit warmer. And for blush today and highlight, I am going to use this NARS Dual Intensity Blush Duo in the shade Frenzy. So first I am going to use this shade right here, which is like a nice corally shade. So it will give like a flirty look onto our face. And then the highlight with a fan brush. So that's like a really nice wet look highlight. It'll be great on like a spotlight, or if you want to go for a dinner, that will be a great highlight. and on my nose. And for the lower lash line, as you guys all know, I only ever use one shade because I kind of like the haze of smokiness under the eye but not too intense, since our lid is already looking gorgeous. So I'm going to use the shade right here from the Wet n Wild contour palette on a smudger brush and smudge that along the lash line. And to deepen the lower lash line on the outer edge, I am going to go back and use the shade right here called Mecca on the same brush and just concentrate that on the outer V to tie in on the top, just right here. And for the inner corner highlight, I am going to use this Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette and this one right here, which is like a nice gold shade, which actually you can use it as a highlight as well. And I'll pop that on my Cupid buzzer. And I'll just quickly pop on this Essence Volume Stylist mascara on the lower lash line. I don't actually apply any mascara on top of my lashes because I find that my mascara is curly enough to blend in with the falsie. For the lips, I am going to line my lips with this East End Snob from Rimmel. It's called the Exaggerate Lip Liner. For lipstick, I am going to apply this Australis Velour Matte Lip Cream in the shade Osaka and apply a lip gloss on top. This is the lip gloss I got from Kmart, and this one is in the shade Barely There. Last but not the least, set our makeup using this Maybelline Master Fix setting spray. After setting, I actually press in the setting spray. Here is my final look for Valentine's. This look is very flirty, slightly sexy. I mean, I quite like this look because it's not very overpowering. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great Valentine's Day, whether it be with your girlfriends, with your man, or you're going on a date or speed dating. You are beautiful, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye!